pleasant good night. This is the 3rd of July 2012 at 9:17 p.m. I've decided to produce my evidence this way because I've been trying for the longest while to get a hearing, and everybody has been denying me due to the fact that I've been excluded from the safe house, because I'm not willing in any way again to participate in the wrongful conduct of the police. This is ready to explain what happened. This is to show that I am in no way to blame, but that the police used my despondence. They used my hopelessness at the point in time to their advantage, and putting me really between a rock and a hard place. My name is Adrian Johnson. The events is as follows. I had an altercation, as given in a previous statement, that there was an altercation with an individual by the name of Kareem Alphonso in Dorota Street, and I decided to go to the police and whatnot. Here's what transpired on the day, and I hope that you would use your good judgment, and understand my situation, and I've been trying to get it, but the High Court date hasn't been coming, right? It's it's some delays, always some, so I decided it's the best way again. So here's what happened. On a date in 2009, I had an altercation with an individual. I got wind of somebody wanting to kill me up there. So I decided, well, these people don't really play, so it's best I go to the police. Because I spent like 6 years in jail, and I don't really intend to go back in jail. I didn't really intend to go back in jail, for these kind of things. I decided to, just live my life normal and peaceful, kind of law abiding, I came to the police. I told them I met one by the name of Mr. Solomon. Now, Mr. Solomon was one of the SWAT officers, and through a girl, Susan Samuel, I was able to meet with him outside El Socorro's police station. I met with him in a car, and we sat down in a car. Simply the conversation was, I told him, well, of the threat towards my life, and I would like to be in the witness protection program. He told me, he said, well, what crime did you witness? I said, well, you witnessed no crime, but I want to be in the witness protection program because these fellas will kill me. If I go to the police and I file a complaint, they will just take the complaint, and after I dead, then maybe they might investigate, but other than that, and my life is, I believe, is at serious stake, at risk, He told me, he said, well, in order to be in a witness protection program, you need to be a witness. I said, well, I wasn't a witness to anything, so I before I could say anything, he said, well, who people wanted to kill you? He said, you used to ride with a gang or something? I said, well, yeah, technically, I guess, yeah. He said, technically, I said, well, yeah, I used to ride with a gang. He said, what's the name of the gang? I told him, well, the Gambinos. He said, the Gambino that is with Kareem Alphonso and them. I said, well, yeah. He like, what we could help out each other. I said, well, what do you mean? No, he said, well, how you mean, we could help out each other? He was like, with the guns, with the drugs. So I like, well, the guns on them, you know, as soon as they come out, you know, they'll go back. It's not like, you know, the guns will be there and, you know, everybody know where the guns are, you know, it's not like that. So he's like, so he said, well, how much years you riding with them? I said, well, or how long? He said, well, 2 years. I tell him, well, 2 years. He told me, well, 2 years you're riding with these people and, you know, you don't know anything. I said, well, it's not that I don't know anything, but just I'm not like, witness to anything like that. He said, well, tell me where you're here, where you know. You understand? I was like, well, I heard about a murder in Mova, and I heard he was responsible for it. He said, murder. I said, well, yeah, a fella named Tupac. You know. I said, Tupac. He said, tell me about it. Well, I began to give him the rundown now as to what happened. You know. You know, and Dice and Barry's role and all these different things. He says, oh, you know that? I said, well, I the word up there, you know, people are talking and thing, you know, I carried it, but I wasn't there. He said, alright. He said, yeah, what's going on? That case where you tell me, I'm going and report that to my superior. You'll spend a night in the station, which was in health security, and in the morning, I'll get something to eat and whatever for the night, you'll get food and thing, and in the morning, we will deal with that. I said, well, alright, fair enough. The morning came. He came and said, he told me, he said, well, here what's going on? It have some officers interested in that case. And it so happened that everything you say actually coincided with what happened in the case. He said, but there's a little problem. But we could work that out. You understand? Because what it is you want to be in the witness protection program. I said, well, yeah. He said, well, right. If you want to be in the witness protection program, what you need to do, you see that story where you give me there? What happened? You need to be there. What do you mean? I said, well, how do you mean to be? He said, you need to put yourself on the scene of the crime. I said, well, I'm not going to do that, you understand? Because for one, on the scene of the crime, you come like you're implicating yourself as to doing a murder, you know, and I'm really stupid in that way. He said, well, no. He said, I don't mean anything. And he said, I don't mean any actual murder. He said, what you need to do is put yourself in either the planning stage or some part, you know. You need to do that. I said, well, I wasn't really looking at that. He said, well, here you have a choice. Your choice is either to go back out and face them fellas and them, or you say what it is I tell you, or do what it is I tell you to do. You understand? And you'll end up in the program and everything will be good. You understand? He said, so what is you really looking for? I said, well, I'm looking for the witness. He said, so what in the witness protection program are you looking for? I said, well, I'm looking for a little place to stay. And if possible, you know, to come out of the country because I can't handle this kind of, you know, running and this kind of strippiness. He told me, he said, well, you have a choice, what you want to do. You know, I tell him, well, I want to come in the witness protection program. You know, he like, well, alright. So here what's going on. You see that story where you give me there? We're going to have to put it on audio visual. Right? So here what's going on. You're going to think about what you're going to say, and I'm going to come back a little later and you're going to tell me what it is they decide to include and these kind of things in the statement. He said, don't worry yourself, I'm going to help you out with it, and you'll get something. And for the audio visual, that is to really show that, you know, it wasn't under force or anything like that. You understand? So that could be concrete in the court now. I said, well, alright. I did the what he asked me to do, and so said, well, before the audio visual, what we did, I did a like an impromptu kind of thing, where I spoke, you know, in front of his superior was an officer by the name of Mr. Sharp, right? And I met him and Mr. Solomon. We was there, and I ended up speaking the you know, what I needed to speak. He told me, well, it was okay. He said, well, here what's going on. He said, well, what you might need to do is just include yourself, you know, by maybe saying something. He said, but anyway, we go get to that later. I said, alright. we went in the room. You know, my frame of mind is like, you know, I can't do nothing else. You understand? And really it kind of maybe, if they're doing that, well, maybe it's according to law, because there's the law, you know. If a man telling me how the law doing that, you know, well, you know, it's not a problem. I did the audio visual, right? And after that, they told me that, yeah, we're going on. You'll need a statement. We'll write up all this in statement form, and we'll give you a copy, and you will just keep revising it and these kind of thing, right? And whatever. So, okay. Well, just how I got the story, I told them, right? And it had two discrepancies in the story, right? One I believe was with Fish, and the other one was with Frank. Now I remember in the statement I put in Frank, because that is how I hear the story well with Frank. You know, he was there on the scene, and when Frank was really out the country. You understand? And well, after they put me in the safe house, right? What they did, the said evening, an officer by the name of Sheldon Bat, he called me on the phone. He said, well, here we're going on, we have a little problem. You understand? He said, I know what is going on, but when I reach up there, we'll talk. I said, well, alright. When we reach up, when he came up, he bring some pizza, he bring, I think, a big soft drink. And he told me, he said, well, we held Frank today, and we had to let him go because he had a passport stating that he was out of the country. He said, so what you need to do now is look over our statement. I said, well, I can't really look over, because really our story I given what it is I heard, and the police tell me, well, you know, don't worry yourself, everything will be good. You understand? He told me, he said, well, they were going on. You need to make a correction there, right? Or it's nothing to just say you forget, because everybody does forget. Everybody does, you know, make a mistake. It's not a problem, you're human. I said, well, yeah. He said, well, right, you're going to write a little statement, and you're just stating that, well, X1Z the case, you make a mistake, right? You're not saying who nobody come and tell you and them kind of thing. You're just stating that, and that is it. I said, well, alright. And I realized, like, you know, it's just to stay in here and just to, you know, come out of this thing, and, you know, I find like I'm going deeper in something. I mean, really studying at the time, because, you know, at the end I just, you know, everything will be good, you know. I met with after that incident, I met with Mr. Busby about twice or three times, and we went over the whole statement. We went over the records, like what the defense had and what they have, and, you know, so if any discrepancies, and he telling me, like, you know, things like, well, you can't use, because I had little knowledge of the Blackstone. I used to, well, as a law book, and the archball and thing, tell me, well, you can't say them kind of thing in court and whatnot, because, you know, the thing and them kind of thing now. And, well, he tell him about the case, he tell the officers, and then he say, well, they will need to take a different statement from the man. You understand? A statement entailing, like, you know, certain things put into the case, not to ask little questions and answers.